Good morning, everyone. I'm doing a mic check sound. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And I'm going to do my best to not bump anything because this microphone setup is very, very temperamental. So if you can hear me, if you can let me know in the chat if it's too loud or not loud enough. My levels here are pretty up, so I don't want to blow anyone's eardrums out. Good morning, Robin. Let's see how we're looking here. Okay, great. How's the sound? It sounds good? Perfect. Took a lot of time to get that settled and situated, but I'm glad I did. So we have news at 9:45, um, right after I open. We have been trending up. I am going to, I'm waiting for someone to join. They wanted to talk about daily bias, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to join so that we could review it together and I can explain kind of the way I approach daily bias. Um, I am on antibiotics for this cold or whatever I had. It's helping some, but my voice is not at 100%. But I am trying to push forward because that's just life. So I appreciate you all for being here. If you are joining the stream, if you could please subscribe if you have not already subscribed and put a like, share, that would be great. That way we can grow and others can join us for this challenge. This is day 4 of our challenge. And currently we are sitting at $515 of profit. Hi, Rodrigo. Welcome and thank you. Happy 2025. That is correct. It's a new year, guys. So right now, we are in a bullish trend and we have our 1 hour fair value gap here, and we've only been making bullish fair value gaps so far. So for me to see a flip, I would really want price to come beneath this 5 minute bullish fair value, bearish fair breaker block and continue down. Our new day opening gap is here. We're above the we're above the 8:30 open. We're above the midnight open and the new day opening gap. We've already taken the previous day's high and we've also taken the previous week's high. So we're kind of moving up. I'm gonna let's look at the start on a weekly and we can just um come back to that. So as you can see, this was our previous week here. We had a bearish candle. It was more like manipulation beneath previous week's lows and we closed back into the range and we opened up. And we've taken the previous week's high, we've taken Friday's high, and now above us we have this long wick here, which could serve as the gap. So you want to mark out I usually mark out 50% of that because wicks are gaps too. And that's on the weekly time frame. So that's just a level that we can look at. I'm just marking out some levels on my chart. I don't want to clutter this chart up too much, but that's what we're looking at on the weekly. On the daily, you can see that we took Friday's high and we're heading toward this daily fair value gap. And that's nestled in with some 1 and 4 hour fair value gaps. We have some daily volume imbalances here that we can also make note of. Those could be possible places of resistance. And we have another one here. Okay. So we had a high, low, higher high, lower low. We had made what seemed to be a bearish breaker. We're back into this area. This high has not been closed above with the body. So we're still kind of respecting that. It's very plausible for us to reach up into this bearish daily fair value gap and reject down. If we close above that and close above this high, we would anticipate us going on to take the high and make a new all-time high. On the 1 hour, we are very bullish. We have a bullish breaker, low, high, lower, low, higher, high. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you. So here, price could come up. It could come down and tap this bullish breaker again to go back up. We're not too far from this daily fair value gap, the consequent encroachment of it, and we have already tapped top of it here. So now we could see these fair value gaps being disrespected, or we may continue on to go higher. So what I'm anticipating is to see how price reacts. The last level that we took was the previous week's high and was here where this purple dotted line is. We tapped that twice. I'm looking at ES just to see what type of SMT we have. And ES did take London's high. So we do have SMT with ES with a high, which means it would be permissible to go short. But we also have a 1 hour bullish FPG that could revert price back up into that daily bullish, I'm sorry, that daily fair value gap above. Dollar, dollar has taken its London low and it looks like it's heading up. So since we have news at 9:45, which is after the open, and then we have 10 o'clock, we kind of want to see what price really wants to do because you can get a lot of manipulation. But I am keeping an eye on what price is doing. So we do have a confirmed 5-minute bearish breaker here. I want to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. I'll try not to move the screen too much, but we had a high, low, higher high, lower low. So this is actually, hold on, let me make sure. This is high, high. We didn't take London's high. I believe we'll take that first, but it's not necessary because ES already took it. It has not confirmed. Well, it actually did confirm a breaker. We have a high, low, higher high, lower low here. $7.45. I really want to see how we react here. No, that's an indicator. It's nephew Sam. Yes, I decided to put them on a chart for you guys so that um you could see them, and I didn't have to like. 'Cause some people are not able to visually see them or they hand draw them themselves. I prefer not to do that because I'm focusing on other things. So I put the fair value gaps on the chart. That way, when I put I'm gonna try to take the trade on the screen and I need to see where my fair value gaps and volume imbalances are. The other stuff I'm gonna try to keep off of the chart so that it's not as messy as my normal chart. You guys know my charts are horrendous to you guys, but it works for me, so I'm okay with it. I'm sorry. So that's another thing. I have to be careful because any sudden movements, if I even touch the desk, this mic's pick up a lot. So I will try my best to be as quiet as possible. Can you guys hear that ringing? It's a system thing. That's loud. Okay. Now we're gonna confirm that breaker. It looks like we're gonna go through this, but we wanna see. Okay. Um, yeah, I have to figure out I don't need you guys to hear the ringing. I just needed that for me. Um, Let's see something. I'm checking the sound. Let me know if I'm still good on your end. Let me know if you can hear the ringing now. We have a confirmed 5-minute bearish breaker. We've come into this 1 hour fair value gap and we've taken that. And we've also hit the equilibrium of London. So we just moved 96, 95 handles basically to the downside. And this is all before 9:30 a.m. Okay, thank you. So this looks like some sort of manipulation. We're returning back to this 5-minute bearish breaker. This was our 1-minute bearish breaker here. The market has been moving all night. But this would have been our entry to go short. Actually, yeah, we got tagged in there. Next up, we have this 1 hour fair value gap, consequent encroachment of that. So again, we're below the 8:30 open, but we are still above the midnight open and our new day opening gap. If we look at the regular trading hours gap, well above that currently. So price could come down, but if we are really bullish, this could be just manipulation to balance the midpoint of the range, which it already did. It already took London's range, half of that, and we can go to head toward the daily fair value gap above. No, I haven't taken any trade. It's not 9:30 yet. Okay, I'm hearing some feedback. One moment. Trusting. I'm not sure why I can hear myself. I don't have any I don't have anything on or open. I just started. One moment. Trusting. Okay. I think I found it. Thank you. Let me know if you guys can still hear me okay. So it looks like we're returning back to the 5-minute bearish breaker. Percent price down. So was this manipulation to go higher, or are we coming back to give the 5-minute time frame traders a chance to get in and then continue down? What I look for after 9:30, I try to find out what price is looking for. What is it searching for? And the way I do that is I watch what it does after 9:30. Do we create a new breaker and confirm it? Do we return to a breaker? Do we confirm an order block? Do we confirm an order block and return to that? Are we taking a higher time frame level like a session high or session low, the consequent encroachment of a fair value gap, a daily level? My levels and the things that I'm looking for are on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. The lowest I'm looking at is a 1 hour time frame as far as key levels because the banks and hedge funds only operate on the higher time frames as far as their objectives. So it looks like we're rejecting out of this breaker for now, but we're going to give price an opportunity to show us what it wants to do. If we're going down, we have plenty of room to get to our objectives. And again, ES has taken its London high. It has went through the fair value gap, and it has also went through this another 1 hour fair value gap. So it hasn't taken the low yet, though. Are you all able to hear that ringing? I hope not. The alerts on TradingView. We didn't hear it great. Okay. At any point, if you can't hear me or something or see something, please let me know. I'm watching on one of my phones, but it's not as big as I would like it to be. I'm trying to watch the chat as well. So ideally, this would be a short for us. We have a confirmed 5-minute bearish breaker. We've returned to that breaker. Our first target would be 200 ticks or 50 handles. At 5 contracts, that would give us the $500 we need for the day. The only thing is, we are a little early. I have a pretty good feeling that we will go down, and our ultimate target would be down here, the new day opening gap. It's a Monday, so price just seeks fair value, and where would fair value be? Down there. However, on the 1 minute, we've created bullish order block. I'll show you that. We swept the 1 hour fair value gap, and we swept this liquidity here. We have relatively equal lows here, so I would want price to come and attack that. We do have a bullish order block here, but it's not convincing. We are in a fair value gap, which is also a good point of sending price down. But right now, these candles are just staying in this range. So it looks like, they're holding price for now, and we'll see. So these are just ideas. I am not in a trade. I am going to try to put the trade on this screen so that you guys can see it. And I'll be managing it from my own screen with my annotations and things like that. Now, as price is moving up, NQ may decide it wants to take its London high and continue on, which is very much permissible. If we close above this high, this will be our 1 minute bullish breaker. I'm sorry. This will be our 1 minute bullish breaker at this high. And then on the 5 minute, our bullish breaker would be here above the previous week's high. Keep in mind we have London high here, 4 hour fair value gap, consequent encroachment, and then we have the daily fair value gap. I think last week when I asked you guys like to watch on the 1 minute, and I like to watch the 1 minute as well, so we'll keep it here. I want to see what price does. We will toggle back and forth between the 1 and 5 minute at times just to see. So we have less than 20 seconds before we have our 9:30 open. So let's see what price decides to do. So these order blocks have been confirmed and so far being respected. Price has taken the London high. So now we have a new high, which means that we have a new bearish breaker, potential bearish breaker on the 1 minute, and you would need to readjust it on the 5 minute as well. This breaker lines up with a 1 hour fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. On the 1 minute, it looks like we are going to confirm this order block and we are going to head toward the daily fair value gap above. And here we have, after 9:30, confirmed a bullish 1 minute breaker block. But we've also taken a session high, so you want to keep that in mind. Okay, this order block has been confirmed. I want to see us come back into the order block. Price should not come past this point if we are truly going higher. This is a 4 hour fair value gap. So we want to see if price wants to do this. After 9:30, we did confirm a bullish breaker block. Coming back into this order block here, we want to see it reject out and go higher. The price can do whatever you want to do, and we're kind of still early because it's 9:35. Okay, we've taken the mean threshold of this. I don't want to see us. We've hit a major level, consequent encroachment of a 1 hour fair value gap. So you want to bring your, okay, so we got break even and profit because this is an area that can reverse price. Although I believe we're still going higher. You don't want to take any chances. So I'm okay with that partial. And make sure any other orders are off. Okay. If we come below this level here, that's a 1 minute bearish breaker there. And on the 5 minute, our bearish breaker is still at this low. So now we have a bullish and a bearish breaker lined up together. I want to see how we react after we take this fair value gap. But keep in mind, we do have medium impact news at 9:45. We're just consolidating inside of this fair value gap. We wicked it and came back into the range, and we're heading toward the consequent encroachment of this. And there we have it. So if we get a reversal down on the 1 minute, this will be our 1 minute bearish breaker. We've confirmed another bullish order block. So order flow is still bullish. You just want to have it mapped out if price does start to reverse, where you want to start looking at what levels. I'm looking at ES, and ES has not made it to its daily fair value gap yet, but it is making its way up there. So what did we do at 9:30? We confirmed a 1 minute bullish breaker, came into a 1 hour fair value gap. We've confirmed another order block, a bullish order block. We've taken the consequent encroachment of a daily fair value gap, and we are creating fair value gaps in that direction. Let's look at it on the 5 minute. We created a 5 minute bullish breaker. We tapped into it, and then we came up into the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. So what's above us now? We have the mean threshold of previous week's high and some session highs above that. Looking on the 1 hour, we have this mean threshold and a couple of daily bearish volume imbalances. So we're leaving a lot of bullish fair value gaps behind, meaning we're kind of moving out to the objectives. The only thing for me right now is the timing because we do have news in about less than 1 minute. Then we have the 10 o'clock open. So that could be our manipulation. Price can come down, retest these bullish breakers, and go back up, or it could create bearish breaker. So for now, I'm gonna move that out the way so we can see what's gonna happen. Are we retesting to go higher or are we flipping to go lower? Yes, I moved my stop loss into break even and profit after it took the consequent encroachment of the 1 hour fair value gap. This is our medium impact news driver. Bullish order blocks being respected. And we're about 93 handles from the next target. Looking at standard deviations, we just hit the 2.5 standard deviation on the 1 hour. Sometimes that is a potential spot for reversals. We also have a 1 hour bearish FVG above. Consequent encroachment is around 919. This is our 950 to 1010 macro. You can expect to see some sort of manipulation or push to the target during this time. Currently, we are back into this bullish order block, and I'm watching to see if we're going to respect this or disrespect it. Mean threshold of the weekly wick is at 21908.5. I'm sorry, 75 within that zone. That's another potential target for price to go to. And when I take, so continuation trades are not my strongest. I understand them, but they're not my strongest suit because it's always possible price will start rejecting after it took a higher time frame level. So I like to reduce my risk to maybe 2 micros or 3. And then reversal trades, I like to do 5 to 7 to 10 to 15. It just depends on how strongly I feel about the move. But we are inside of this bullish order block. So far, the bodies are respecting the mean threshold of it, and that could push us up into our next target, which would give us about 94 to 100 and so handles. If I took a continuation trade, I would reduce the risk to 2 micros and just have my stop loss below this level. So I want to see if we confirm another bullish order block. I want to look at the 5 minute. Price closed above, creating that bullish breaker and did tap back into it. And now we're going higher. So order flow is bullish. Order flow is bullish on the 1 hour, but we're inside this, still inside this fair value gap. But I believe we'll go higher and we may take the high on the 1 hour and create an all time high. Not sure if we're going to do all that today, but it is possible. This could be a Monday that's just going to trend. So if you're looking for reversals, it may not give it to you, but I'm sure you'll get something at some point in time today as far as a classic breaker block unicorn entry. I'm going to see what price does after 10 o'clock, and then we may have more news. I'm sorry, not more news, but more to go off of after that. No, I'm not in a trade. The trades are, I'm going to put them on the screen. You'll see it. We were in a trade. I was in a trade. What I'm doing here is putting my position tools in place so I don't have to fumble around with them because price on NQ, as you know, moves very, very fast. And it's possible that you can just get lost trying to get your stuff together. So I try to have it already ready on my chart so I can just drag it where I need it and get in the trade when I need to. No, I'm putting everything on this screen. I'm trying to keep this screen that you guys see as clear as possible, as clean as possible. Um, these are potential bearish breaker levels that I'm looking at. So as price goes higher, I'm always finding the level where if we reverse, it will confirm a flip down to the downside. Looking on the 5 minute, we have not, this is our low. So price would need to close below this candle here to make a 5 minute bearish breaker block. As you can see, we are just trending up. And this could be what we're going to do all day or just during this session. Not really sure. The other thing that I want to point out is I always mark out the session's range. So right now, equilibrium of New York Open is around 745. And the reason why I do that is because price loves to balance imbalances. And the range, the session's range is an imbalance. We've went up and we've created a leg up, and now price may want to come back and balance that. The equilibrium of New York currently rests right on top of the previous week's high, right here. So price could come here and bounce back up. We won't know unless we won't know for sure until we see the signatures in price. These bullish order blocks start getting disrespected. We close below that, and it could send us lower. But we also are bumping into the equilibrium of a range, which means that price could have done its job here and now is springboarding back up. We have to remember that on the lower time frame, it looks like it's going to do a lot. But on the higher time frame, it could be just a pullback into some sort of level. And we have 2 minutes before 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and look at the 1 hour candle and see the mean threshold of the previous, this candle here that we are on. Price likes to balance imbalances, and that includes the mean threshold of the previous hour candle. A lot of times price will come into that level. I'm just making sure I have my levels right. Okay. So the mean threshold would be here. Now we're going to go back to the 1 minute. So this green candle here represents the mean threshold of the previous of this hour's candle. So once we hit 10 o'clock, price could come down here to balance this imbalance down here, as well as the equilibrium of the New York range so far. As we go higher in the New York range, I adjust my fib. And you can't see it on your screen, but basically I'll show you. This is what I do. This is the equilibrium of that range. As price goes higher, I keep moving it, and I would move the mean threshold as well, so I know where price may want to come back to balance price. It is now 10 o'clock. Bullish order blocks are being respected so far. And we just created another 4-hour fair value gap, which is also a 1-hour fair value gap. You're welcome, Jen. No problem. And please feel free to ask questions. I don't know what people know or don't know. So if you ask, I'll definitely do my best to try to answer you. Confirmed a 5-minute order block. We've come back into that. So we wait for the market to show us what it wants to do. Kind of choked my original trade idea, the stop loss, only because we hit a higher time frame level, and that's the point of reversal. But if I had left it alone, we would have already hit our target, but broke even in profit because I wasn't sure. And a couple of other reasons is because we are in before the time. It was right after 9:30, and I saw exactly what it did, but I like to wait for 10 o'clock if possible. So we were kind of early. Whenever we take a higher time frame high or low, you'll see some consolidation, and then you'll see price break out of that range either to the upside or the downside. You want to kind of wait for that. We are still in the 950 to 1010 macro. This is also our silver bullet hour for the New York AM session, which is 10 a.m. to 11. However, what I've learned is the silver bullet is not just a time frame. I mean, that's when it usually happens and generally can happen, but you always want to look at the market maker model to see what's happening. And as we can see, we are in I'll go to the 5 minutes so you can see a little better, maybe 15. We're in a buy model. Price took the low, created a bullish breaker, and top of our end of this buy model is all the way here, which will be at our all-time high. How far we'll get to that today, we don't know. But I trade breaker blocks and market maker buy and sell models because those kind of give you cues to where big money is pushing price. And I just track the fair value gaps, volume imbalances, and breakers along the way. So I hope that makes a little more sense as to what we look for. This could be a market maker buy model. We've completed that, but as you can see, it continued on because in the grand scheme of things, we are very much bullish. So let's see how our bullish order blocks are faring. They're still being respected. Price closes strongly below this, outside of this 15-minute fair value gap. That could give me a little more confidence that we want to go lower. We have fair value gaps here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. All could stop price and push it back higher. On the 1 minute, this would be market maker sell model if we have a flip. So there's a lot of if this, then that type of logic that goes on when you're watching price. So you have to manage your expectations, manage your risk, and then just let it play out. Sorry, I forgot to put that on the screen so you all could see. And guys, I'm working on being more engaging. When I'm watching price, I am like locked in sometimes. And so I don't like to get too distracted, but I am always open to answering any questions that I can when I can. And if you guys want to discuss something or have questions, please let me know. This is all so very new to me and it's scary, but I'm doing my best. I'm taking what I've learned, what I've practiced, and what I use on a daily basis just to formulate my trades and create, income for myself. And so I'm just documenting this as a challenge to myself more than anything. This is just consolidation. I would like to see how we close below that. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate you. You have always been very supportive, totally. So I appreciate you. And I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you, James. Was anyone did LP put up a his stream? Is he gonna be coming back today? I think he said today. I don't know if it's gonna be in a PM. I haven't had a chance to check the channel to see if it's been scheduled. No, it's definitely not easy. You guys, this is not easy. But it's really once you learn what you need to know, once it clicks for you, I guess I could say that. Once it clicks for you, it's a no-brainer. But so we took a partial on this one, guys. We didn't get the full fill. We could have. I mean, we could have been done for the day. But see, and I always do that, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, and you shouldn't do that because but I am working and this is my challenge to myself is to put my trade ID on, accept the risk. I should have just accepted the risk if I would have. So I think my stop loss was around like like around here. If I would have accepted the risk, whether I win or lose that trade, it's okay. And that's the one thing that I highlighted here as my mantra to myself, accept the risk or don't take the trade because that's what I have to do. I'm learning the patience, the discipline, and I trust my model and myself. However, accepting that risk is very, very hard, especially when other people are watching you. And we are in a prop firm account. In my personal account, I have more freedom because I can risk more because I know that I'm not dealing with a drawdown, countdown, or timer or something like that, if that makes sense. So, your personal account, you just have to trade that different. You trade it different. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, guys. See, I'm using my hands and I'm hitting the boom arm, and this thing is loud. But there's so many factors going on into live streaming because you're concentrating, you're engaging, you're watching several screens, and things like that take practice. So I appreciate you guys for being here and being patient with me as I grow, not only as a trader, but as a new YouTuber who is live streaming the doc and documenting the journey and the struggles of it. So we're in the last minute of our 950 to 1010 macro. And then our next macro would be the 1050 to 1110 macro, which is our London close macro. And typically we start seeing um, reversals in that area. We may get that reversal sooner than later. So this is not a confirmed bullish order block. I need price to close below here before I engage. High, low, higher high. Here, lower low. On the 5 minute, we would not have any confirmation of a bearish breaker until way down here, which makes me think that price is really, really bullish. We want to watch and see. Don't forget we have the mean threshold of the previous hour's candle. Price may want to come down there. But so far, we are respecting this order block. And for those who may not can see it, that would be this here, an order block, a bullish order block. No bodies are closing below the mean threshold of that. So that gives me more confidence that we could go higher. And again, when it comes to continuation trades, those are like B, B minus type trades for me. Because I'm not as strong in those as I am in reversals. Now, I know, Robin, you said you love trending days and continuations, and so that's wonderful. And I am practicing when I back test and when I journal, I am getting a lot better. But I wanted to review for you guys the way I track things as far as continuations. At 9:30, I like to see what price did. And at 9:30, sorry, let's see. 9:30, what did we do? This is our 9:30 candle. At 9:30, this candle closed above this high. So we had a high, low, low, higher high. We confirmed a bullish breaker. We also confirmed an order block after that. And then we confirmed another bullish order block after that. We tapped back into it and we went up. All of our targets were already outlined because we were looking for the fair value gap on the 4 hour as well as the mean threshold of the daily fair value gap. So now it looks like we're pushing up again. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. We're making, you know, some more bullish order blocks. This just confirmed another one. We're almost at 10:15 and we have mean threshold of a previous week's wick, which is also an inefficiency. 1 hour fair value gap, session high, another session high, and a daily volume imbalance. Now we've been consolidating here and we're breaking out the range, but is this manipulation? And now we're going to flip because when like to see breakers, I like to see a nice clean low or a nice clean high. I like to see displacement. So we're kind of just inching along right now. We don't have any other news drivers. And here's our fair value gap. Let's see how this order block is respected or if we invert this fair value gap and come down. Also, another thing I've been trying to remember to do is after 9:30 to mark out the first presented fair value gap. And I think that would be this here, one after 9:30. So see, price came into that first presented fair value gap, which also lines up with the mean threshold of the order block, the bullish order block. and it tapped out of it and came out. Consolidated, consolidated. Nobody's closed below it. That's respect. So when you're watching order flow, you want to watch what price is doing, what it's the signatures and price are telling you. Now we made a bullish fair value gap on a 1 minute, and we may disrespect that. We may invert this one. And then if we close below this level, this is our bearish breaker. That's also your 3 PD array rule. So if I was in a trade here, the stop loss would need to be below here. And that's a lot of stop loss. So you want to go higher as price comes into order blocks. And you want to go higher in down close candles, and you want to go lower in up close candles because you get the best price. Hi, Jazz. Thank you for being here. I am doing my best and I'm enjoying this. This is, I ain't gonna say fun, but it's interesting for me. And it's something I've never done. I'm putting myself out there. So it is what it is. We do have another inner range break block. Excuse me, guys. We close above this candle. Our bearish breaker block would now be here. Every time you take a high, you have to start readjusting for your breakers. On the 5 minute, we're very bullish. So I want to see us confirm this as a bullish order block. If price comes back into it, I'll go ahead with my long, but I want to see that. The risk would be very small. I'm only doing 2 micros because, again, continuation trades are not my A plus setup. So you want to reduce your risk. We did close above this. I'm in the trade. I am going to put my stop loss here and we'll see what happens. This is a 1 hour fair value gap. We can target that. I wonder will we go to this daily volume imbalance? Now I'm gonna map out the mean threshold of this order block here. Price, nobody should close below this. If we do, it's very possible that we're gonna flip down. Our risk is managed, so we'll just let it play out. Wouldn't mind taking one off here and have another one up by the daily volume imbalance just in case we make it that far. We'll see. So, in full transparency, I am not comfortable taking continuation trades. Actually, I'm not comfortable with it. But I'm learning to stretch myself in areas that I'm not very comfortable in. So just looking at this, I just want to point this out. I'm going to take it off in a minute. This is a 5 minute bullish order block, which lines up with the 1 minute. My stop loss is below that because if price is still bullish, it should not close below that. Can it wick it? Yes, it could. That would be the manipulation, but it should not close below that. And this will be our new 5 minute bearish breaker. Before it was down here because that was our low, but we have a low. This is a low, and we have two highs um, on each side of it. So I'm going to adjust for that. And the reason why I reduce my risk when it comes to continuation trades, because one, I am not most comfortable with those at this time. Um, and also, I know that once I get my reversal, my A plus setup, I can go in with 5 contracts or more and make back any losses that I would sustain from um, going in the flow of the order flow. Hey, Jen, thank you. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, guys. We're here together. We're all traders trying to get a better understanding of this ICT thing, and I have spent years. I started with what is a candlestick in 2021, in late 2021. So it took me a couple years, and I started with the support and resistance and, all of that other stuff. And it was very much so a challenge. I have notebook after notebook after notebook. I've watched this person and that person, and ICT, he is amazing. His concepts work, but it is something, getting through a lot of that. A lot of people can't take all those hours and things like that. And I thank God for those persons who have put out his content from their studies and have broken it down in some sort of simplistic way. But your edge comes from you being in the markets and you doing it yourself and learning exactly what works for you. What does your eyes gravitate to? What do you understand without anybody telling you anything? You know that you know that you know this is what's happening. Once you get that for yourself, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be unstoppable. So, 3 PD array rule. This is a bullish order block. This is a bullish order block. This is a fair value gap. If we close below this level, that would be 3 failed PD arrays. However, we are also still inside this bigger order block, which is why I have my stop loss just a little bit below that. Now, this is our breaker. I would use this candle here as our 1 minute breaker with the 1016 candle. On the 5 minute, if we close below the 955 candle, I would consider that our 5 minute bearish breaker. And I have those marked out. So I'm hoping you guys can keep up with me. I don't want to clutter the chart that you guys see too much. So I'm just submitting ourselves to time. It's almost 10:30, so we should see some sort of movement. Either we're going to go up or we're going to flip down. I'm a nurse, Jan. Yes, I'm a nurse, and I do nurse case management. And shortly after the pandemic, I started working from home because it was a lot going on out there. And I still prefer to work from home. And I prefer to, do things on my own terms. So, yes. So for now, the bullish order blocks is being respected. I would love for us to confirm this one as one and continue on up into our target. Again, this is the mean threshold of not last week, but a week or two before. Anytime you see long wicks, you always take your fib on that wick, put your fib on it, and mark out the mean threshold of that. All wicks are liquidity zones. If you notice, let's say, for instance, this candle here, um, price likes to come back into these wicks. It even likes to come back into 50% of the previous body of the candle. So sometimes you'll get this back and forth type of action. Yes, a very slow grind up, very slow grind. But my original trade idea was awesome. Kind of mad I broke even too soon or whatever. We would have been done or been back in the bed. No, I'm just playing. But it's okay. Um, one thing you'll learn is patience with yourself, with the market, and the other thing you'll learn is, oh, I'm sorry, let me do that. The other thing that you're going to learn is there's always another trade. So you don't have to get it all. Now, I wouldn't want to see price close below this level. And now I have to keep moving my bearish breaker up. We can move our our stop loss up some too. Price should not come all the way back down here. It should, but it could do whatever it wants to do. But logically speaking, if we're talking about order flow, but we on a 1 minute too. So I like to toggle between the 1 and 5 minute. Now we're about to confirm another 5 minute bullish order block. So that means that the mean threshold of this should hold and my stop loss could go underneath that. So now I'm risking a few dollars to make more. I'm going to, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. Because I've used the position tool, anytime you change one variable, it changes the other. So I'll take profit at the mean threshold of the weekly wick, and then we'll see if we continue higher. This is a bullish order block. We've already hit the mean threshold of it. Oh, no, we didn't. I'm sorry. We closed and confirmed, and now we're in the mean threshold of it. Price should reject out of that and go higher if that so it should come to this volume imbalance and go higher if it's going higher. I'll leave my stop loss here. Let's see where we are. So it's about $60, $70. If we invert this, I would feel more comfortable getting a close below this level to take my short, but I'm still looking for higher prices. Now we're right above, right here is a new week opening gap, and we're right above that. I have an indicator that lets me know where they are. But this is around the 1.5 standard deviation on the 5 minute, and the 2 minute, I mean, the -2 standard deviation is here. 2.5 is here. And see, all of these levels line up with something else. Okay. So let's see. This order block is going to be disrespected. I'm just lining things up to see what we're doing. Came into that 1 minute volume imbalance. This is going to be our flip after 10:30. What are we going to do? That's the question. So all I do is just watch price and see what it's telling me. This bullish order block here, we've come into it. We've come into the opening price, the closing price of it. Opening, sorry. Oh, did you guys notice I changed the red candles back? The bearish candles back to red. Couldn't keep up with the white and blue. I wanted to keep it blue and white, but I just couldn't manage that. So a close below these up close candles would confirm a bearish order block, and close below this level would confirm a bearish breaker. It's more safer if we really close below all that to take the short, in my opinion. On the 5 minute, um, we still have not, we haven't come to the top of a bullish 5 minute breaker. I'm going to outline that. This is the top of the bullish 5 minute breaker. So that's kind of our line in the sand. I want to see how price reacts there. Robin, thank you. You said thank me for what? You have to let me know because I'm not looking at the chat exactly. So sometimes when you all are replying, I don't know exactly what you're referring to. But sorry, I missed that. You must have said something. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Um, closing below. Price just tapped into that 5 minute bullish order block. And I want to see if we're going to respect it or disrespect it. Actually going to leave, put my stop loss here. I just want to see if this will be where I would like to see that breaker. These more like consolidation candles. I don't trust those, but I do trust this low. And that would be the low of the 5 minute, I believe. So price tap the top of that um, 5 minute bullish order block. It is pushing up. We did not confirm the bearish order block. We didn't get a close below these close candles. And we did not confirm a 1 minute bearish breaker. Oh, okay, yeah, changing the colors. Yes, okay, yeah, I did that. So price is still bullish until we create a breaker. And the way I look at breakers are price is breaking out to go to its higher time frame target. Why else are you creating a breaker? But you get breakers on every time frame. So what you have to do is also look at the order flow. Now you could get a breaker that is just going to im- balance the imbalance of a range or a volume imbalance or previous hour's candle, etc. So why is it breaking out is the question. And you need to know where your roadblocks could be so you know where to take some profit. Okay, we're coming back down. This is the level I'm watching. Coming back into that 5 minute bullish order block. Now, at this point, I want to see us do something. We're pretty much just meandering around. And this is the mean threshold of the 5 minute order block. It's the top. I see what ICT means when he says it's like watching paint dry because that's all we're doing. We're painting back and forth, back and forth. This bullish order block hasn't been confirmed. This is the last one. This bearish order block hasn't been confirmed, so we're just in a range. But we're almost coming up into our 1050 to 1110 macro. So hopefully the macro will show us what it wants to do. Again, above this high, right in this area, we have the low of a new week opening gap. And then we have the mean threshold of a mean threshold of a weekly wick. Above that, we have the 1 hour fair value gap consequent encroachment. And then above that, we have a session high and another session high. So we have this daily volume imbalance way up there. So will price go up there? Who knows? But we're going to watch and see. Um, I'll stay on until we figure something out. Is that my computer? Okay, so we confirmed another bullish order block. We can move our stops up to this low. Now, when price confirms an order block, it has the right to come back into the mean threshold of it and then continue higher. We're going to adjust our breaker to this candle here if we get above this level. But for now, it's here. All right, we just took that high. So I'm going to adjust the breaker to there. If we close above this candle, we'll confirm another bullish order block. Now, this is our manipulation time because it's almost a macro. On the 5-minute chart, if we close above this high, we will create a bullish order block on the 5-minute as well. Are you guys able to follow along with me as we are reading and tracking price? Am what I'm is what I'm pointing out making sense to you? Okay, so we're back into this bullish order block. We have two. We have this one confirmed and this one. Now close candles support price to go higher if you are in a buy program. Basically, all these candles, I would use this whole area as a bullish order block. And I don't want to see bodies close below that area. But this is the mean threshold of the 5 minute, the last confirmed 5 minute bullish order block. So price could come all the way down there. We don't want to see that. We want to see exactly this. And again, if price goes above this high, this will become our new 1 minute bearish breaker. They're relatively equal. So I would use this one until I get more definitive. They are relatively equal. Less than 2 minutes to the macro. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys could follow. And for those of you watching, if you could please subscribe, like, and share the stream with others, it helps the channel out a lot. If you appreciate me putting myself out here, you could show that by just subscribing. I would love to communicate with you in the chat and just share with others. This could be our London closed macro, so of course, price could start flipping. We would need a body to close below these up close candles before we have a bearish order block. We did not confirm a bullish order block on the 5 minute. Okay. We're back into this bullish order block. This is the mean threshold. We want to see if the bodies are going to respect this. This is the macro. This is our manipulation time. So price could just be coming down to wick out stop losses here and head higher, or it could flip. So we're just going to wait and see. We didn't get a close below these candles, so there is no confirmed bearish order block yet. If we get a close below these up close candles, that'll be another bearish order block. And we can expect to take price, if we're going short, we could wait for a retracement into those bearish order blocks to get our entry short. My first target, of course, will be the mean threshold of the New York session range, which also lines up with the 15-minute fair value gap. And always remember, time is more important than price. So looking at the time, this is our London closed macro. So something is about to happen. And we're just watching the signatures and price to see which way we're going to be going. For those of you all who are watching but have not said anything in the chat, I would love for you to introduce yourself if you don't mind and let me know how you found my channel. If you know me from a different group or you just happen to get recommended by YouTube. Don't be shy. We don't bite. We're just trying to learn and grow and make money together. So join us in the chat and we can talk. We're still having trouble confirming a 5-minute bullish order block on the 5-minute and the 1-minute. We have not gotten a close above this level. So we're just waiting. If we do get to the mean threshold of this wick, I'll put my remaining contract in profit. This here is a 1-minute bullish order block. If we can get a nice close above it, but I'd rather us close above that high. I'm looking at ES, and ES is at the mean threshold of its new week opening gap, the consequent encroachment of that. On the 5-minute, I am marking out its potential 5-minute bearish breaker. So I'll know for SMT purposes. But ES is really pushing through that new week opening gap. So it gives me more confidence that we will continue to go higher prayerfully. They also have a session high above, a couple of session highs. And I'm assuming it has that wick that we're monitoring on in Q as well. Are you guys really big into SMT? Like it's a requirement for you to take a trade, or you won't take a trade if there's no SMT? I'm not that I'm versed in it, but I don't use it that often. Also, we need to readjust our 5-minute bearish breaker. It is here now. Um, there's this one guy who he uses it a lot. Let me check this 1-hour candle. because I need to know where our new mean threshold is. We have one more minute, almost a minute and a half before this candle closes. Our mean threshold, that candle is going to be here, pretty much where my stop loss is. I like to mark those out because it lets me know about how far a price can come back to. Price could come right here, boom, and go right on up. So this is our highest high. This will be our 1 minute bearish break. I'll leave it there. So the 1 and 5 minute bearish breakers are pretty much aligned. I'm watching this here. Yes, is pushing up, and dollar is coming down somewhat. Okay, NQ, let's do something. It is 11 o'clock. This bullish order block. This is the mean threshold of that. Hey, Corey, how are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for stopping by. How are you today? You guys, Corey is on his trading journey just like me, and he's documenting his struggles. And I relate so much to everything he says. He's a man of faith. He's a really good guy. So I love your videos. Thank you for sharing and thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate that. That just made me smile. So right now, we're just watching NQ do nothing. I think that this probably would be our time to start closing out the London closed macro. Um, my line in the sand is here. I think I'm risking like less than $100, but I just want to see how this plays out. I've accepted the risk, so we're going to see. Right now, this is all distortion, consolidation, not doing much. My 5 minute bearish breaker is here in that candle, which is also at the top of another bullish order block on the 5 minute. I really want to see us make some decisive moves here. It's time for price to do something. If we close above or we wick above this high, our bearish breaker will be at this level. And guys, if you don't mind, check out Corey Ratcliffe's YouTube channel. Give him a sub and follow his journey. I mean, I promise, I'm sure you will be able to relate to the struggles and the victories and the losses and the ups and downs that we go through as traders. He puts himself out there a lot, and I love it because I see so much of myself in him. But he's growing and he's getting a lot better, and we're all just on this journey together. So I would love it if you all would show him some support. Because the London closed macro is in play, I think I want to go ahead and secure at least $50 for our troubles. um, because price could very well just come on and flip on down. Um, but I want us to go higher. ES is consolidating as well, but has not put a body past the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. We just wicked it. So I look at signatures and price to let me know what the algorithm is doing. And this here is the top of our NQ new week opening gap. This level right here. This is the top. We've been here before. We tapped it. Now let's see if we can get a body over it and into our take profit zone, which is the mean threshold of a previous week's wick. We created another bullish order block here. I would love for us to create another one here, here, and keep on going higher. But we are in profit. So our risk has been reduced. This is a risk-free trade. We'll get a few coins and then we'll look for another setup if price decides to flip bearish. And again, this is a reduced risk trade. I don't go in full contracts um, on continuation trades because to me, those are B minus or B plus trades, as I am not as comfortable with those as I am reversals. But I would like to, if we do come down, we could just be coming back down to into this bullish order block, and then we can go ahead and go up. But if we flip it down, we made $50. We got a look. We paid ourselves something for all this painting that we did here, and we can go from there. So we made a little bit here on this first trade, and we'll see what this second trade does. Oh, great. I'm glad to have you. Have a great day at work, Corey. And I look forward to seeing you around. You know, I'll be on your channel too. So I appreciate you. And that's what I love about people. You know, some people, they're very, what do you call it? They're not intimidated by other people. Um, we all are traders, but we all see the market very differently. And so it takes nothing from me to support a fellow trader or anyone. When I click on most YouTube channels, I just go ahead and hit the subscribe just to help them out. You know, that's what I would want for me. But some people, they don't want you to call it self promotion and all that. I'm like, listen, you started somewhere. I mean, but hey, that's why I'm putting myself out here, because I'm just showcasing my understanding of ICT concepts and how I trade. Um, and I let the numbers speak for themselves. And that's it. I don't have anything to prove to anyone but myself. And this challenge is for me, but I am sharing it with public because it's just something I was led to do. So we came back into that near this bullish order block zone, and we went up. Let's see if we can get over this hump here. Dollar has a bullish 1 hour fair value gap that it looks like it wants to target. Alrighty. So now we're going to move our bearish breaker up here because this is where it would be. We're already in profit. So let's see here what happens. Price can come into the mean threshold of this confirmed order block, so it's okay. And actually, you want price to come into the order block so you can take your long. That's what you want to do. You want to go long as the candles is red and coming down into this area to go higher. Now, this is the mean threshold. There's a volume imbalance here, and we want to see price continue higher. If we don't get that, then we're looking at a flip. Now, on the 5 minute, we didn't confirm another bullish order block. So our 5 minute breaker remains with the close of 8:44. So this area is our 5 minute. And also our London close macro has ended. So price is hitting the top of this new week opening gap. It is not creating, um, it's not getting to the mean threshold of it yet or putting any bodies across it. It just keeps wicking the top of it and getting inside of it, but we're getting some rejection out of it. So now I want to see how price is reacting in this area. I'm going to show you the 5 minute. This is our lowest down close candle on a 5 minute. This is our swing low. So that's our safe point. If we get a body past that, we're much more confident that we're going lower as opposed to closing here, which is inside of this 5 minute bullish order block. And that could just be some manipulation. This one has not really been confirmed. We would need this candle to close above it. When we have 46 seconds and not sure if we're going to get that close or not. Let's watch it. Nope, no close. Okay, so let's see here. Set this up. Let's see if we confirm a 1 minute bearish breaker. Doesn't look like it'll be a unicorn though, because there's no fair value gap that will be created from it. I think this will be a safer place to get below here. This is actual swing low, low, high, low, high, high. This is swing low too, actually, but I want to see price go ahead and hit this target. That's what I like. That's what I would like to see. And so, guys, we have two eval accounts. This is the first one, and this is day 4. Once this account is funded, we pass this eval, then I will trade the second eval concurrently with the funded account. So we'll be doing two things. We'll be making money to withdraw in one account and trying to pass another eval for the second account. And then you get your payouts. You put that money into your private or personal funded accounts. You save like $100 so you can buy another eval if you like. And you keep getting your money out. Take your money out. Pay yourself. That's my plan. So I'll do those on stream, on live stream, and we'll see how that challenge goes. And then after that, not really sure. I do plan to create some content. Actually, it's not going to be anything new, but it'll be my interpretation and or understanding of it. So so if I get stopped out, I'm stopped out in profit. We will have a confirmed breaker block, a bearish breaker block, and I will be prepared to go short. However, we have to understand that the 5 minute breaker is not confirmed yet. So price could very well come down, give us a little profit, and then retrace back up. And in that case, you just want to manage your risk. We're in this order block here. This is the mean threshold, and looks like price is going to go ahead and disrespect it. We're going to get a little something for our trouble, and we're out. Now, we have a confirmed 1 minute bearish breaker block. I would like to see a close below this zone here and a return to the breaker block, the bearish breaker block. Price, this is not a confirmed 5-minute order block, but it is a cluster of candles that I'm watching. See how we react here. And we also created another bullish 1-hour fair value gap at the bottom. I will anticipate price wanting to take that at some point. It also lines up with the equilibrium of the range. Okay, so we're back in that 1-minute bearish breaker. I want to see us create this is a bearish order block we did create. Price is right inside of it. So high, low, higher, high, lower, low. We have a breaker. We have a bearish order block. I want to see let's confirm this as a bearish order block first, retrace into it, and then we'll come down into some of these levels down here. Put it on the screen so you can see it. I'm going to make sure to take off any orders that I had left at a limit up here. Okay, so as you see, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't take this breaker because on the 5-minute, we just really basically came back into an order block. It wasn't confirmed though, so I wouldn't say for sure. But if we get above this high, this will be our new bearish breaker down here. Price manipulated down to take out stops, and it could very well continue higher. This is the bearish order block that we had confirmed. Let's see if we get a body above that, and that will be the disrespect of that. So we've made a cool $100. That's funny. Okay, so the bearish breaker is still being respected so far. Five-minute is just a bunch of consolidating candles. I'm waiting for a 5-minute bearish breaker to be confirmed. I want to see if we invert this 1-minute fair value gap. strong close below this level will give me more confidence in going short, especially if we get a close below here, which it looks like we will, and especially this level here. Remember, this green line here is our mean threshold of the previous hour's candle. This is the mean threshold of a 5-minute confirmed, the last confirmed 5-minute bullish order block. That's there. Then we have our first presented fair value gap. And we have a 1-hour fair value gap and the equilibrium of the New York open range low. So we have good targets below us that could potentially give us a nice run. We have to wait for a price to do something, and it's after 11 o'clock. It's almost 11:30. So we've been on the stream now for almost 2.5 hours. And we all know what's going to happen when we end the stream. Price is going to just do its thing during the macro. So, you know, let's see. It looks like it's pushing back up toward the 1-minute bearish breaker. Okay, so it looks like on the 1-minute, we're going above these highs. On the 5-minute, if we get a close above the high, we will confirm another 5-minute bullish order block. And That should take us up into the mean threshold of this weekly wick or higher. So here we'll have a high, a low, high, lower low, make a higher high. That I call that an interrange breaker block. We'll have to readjust our breakers if we get above this high. So just remember that every time you make a new high, you have to readjust your breaker block, your bearish breaker, and vice versa if you're going in a different direction. So a close above this candle will invalidate this 1 minute bearish breaker here. Looks like we just manipulated these relatively equal lows with this candle to go higher. We've created a fair value gap. I didn't get a close above, not quite. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, I had to clear my throat. So see all this? This is just chop. We're in a range. That's it. Nothing's really happening here. We don't have any real displacement. Um, for a Monday with no high impact news, really not much we could do. It is 11:30, so let's see if it starts to push us out into anything. Okay. So we need to see some bodies close above something here or here. Other than that, there's really not much to do. I say let's give it about another 10 minutes or so because honestly, price, and we've seen that on the previous live stream, price could just do this for hours and not do anything until the silver bullet hour this afternoon or the lunch macro. Maybe after 12, it'll do something, but we have to get in the habit of getting a break, a mental break, step away from the charts, stretch our legs, get something to eat, hydrate, stuff like that. So while we wait on price to do something, if there's any questions, please put them in the chat. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, if you could be so kind as to hit that subscribe button, share and like the stream so that we can continue to grow. We greatly appreciate it. I would love if you would want to introduce yourself. Okay, looks like we got some action here. Let's see. Just hit this volume imbalance. And our 1 minute bearish breaker was not invalidated. It came up, looked above it, but not invalidated. We have a body close past the mean threshold of that 1 minute bullish fair value gap. We've created a bearish fair value gap. The question is, are we done up here? On the 5 minute, the candles are just consolidating. There's no real form or anything. On the 11:25 5 minute candle, I'll show you real quick. We did confirm that this is a bullish order block. So if you're looking at the mean threshold, you want to monitor where the bodies are stopping. If they close below this level, we could very well flip bearish. And if we get a close below this candle, that becomes our 5 minute bearish breaker. And it will take us out of this consolidation range. That'll be price showing its hand on where it wants to go. Looking at ES has put bodies above consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. It has not closed outside of it yet, but it has disrespected the mean threshold of it. Dollar is near its 1 hour fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap. So dollar could hit that level and then reject up, which would send indices down, possibly send indices down. Not always dollar and indices are in sync, or I mean out of sync. Sometimes they are trading in the same direction. I don't really look at Dow much. Um, as far as SMT, I just basically look at ES and the dollar. And so far today, the dollar took a session low, took Asia low, came up into a 1 hour bearish fair value gap, and then rejected down. And it has been making lower highs ever since. Welcome to all of you all who are joining us on this live stream. I want to thank you for stopping by. If you could please subscribe, like, comment, introduce yourself, ask any questions. We are glad to have you here. So on NQ, we have SMT with yes, we made a lower low, where on NQ, we made a lower low, ES made a higher low. ES is pushing higher toward a session high, and that level is at 6075.5. Again, dollar is heading down toward a bullish fair value gap on the 1 hour. So it's quite possible NQ could catch up and go higher unless it decides to manipulate lower first and then go higher. But this is just a range. We're not doing anything. So let's see if we get some bodies close below this level. If we get a close below this, I'll feel more comfortable going short. If we invert all of this, this will be my stop loss. My 3 PD arrays will be disrespected. On the 5 minute, we still have not gotten a confirmation of this breaker block. It would have to be all the way down here, which is about 18 handles. So the macro, the 1150 to 10, I'm sorry, 1150 to 1210 macro starts in about 6 minutes. So I want to see what price wants to do then. If we're looking at time, I want to see what manipulation we get with that. Now, are there any questions while we're waiting and just watching price? We're probably going to end the stream soon if we don't get something here. Seem to be having trouble getting the body closed past this level. These are consolidating candles. Okay, so far on a 5 minute, we have at the close of this candle, if it closes past the mean threshold of the confirmed bullish order block, then that means that we can potentially go lower. We have another 2 minutes before that's actually confirmed, because it could be manipulation. Again, we are coming into the macro time. And then this is the mean threshold of our previous hour's candle. Now we're at the 5-minute bearish breaker. Let's see if we get a confirmation here. I'll show you on the 5-minute. Waiting for that to be confirmed. If we confirm that, I would say the target would be to come back either to the first presented fair value gap and or this 1 hour fair value gap below. Let me zoom in a little more for you guys. Okay, so we are in the macro. I'll give it till 12:10. And if it hasn't produced much, then we'll cut the stream and I'll wait for something to happen more definitively. I'm going to take a break. Now, this here, these candles here, or this one in particular, is a bearish order block. Price came back into that. It also tapped into this 1 minute bearish breaker again. Sometimes the breakers give us even more entries. Or reduce the risk to here. So there's a couple of things going on. We did not confirm the 5-minute bearish breaker. Could have used the 1055 candle, but it looks more like a consolidation candle and it's not a low. So that didn't work for me. We have not confirmed well, let's see, the 11 o'clock candle. We got a body close below that at 11:45. So if I consider, I'll show you here. Let me get it. If I consider these up close candles as our 5-minute bearish order block, we got to close below that, and now we're back into that, which also lines up with our 1-minute bearish breaker. Price is allowed to come at least into the mean threshold of that area in here. It didn't. So I think if we were going to go short, this would be a good area. I'm going to reduce my risk because I'm not 100% sure, and we didn't confirm a bearish breaker. I'll go in with 2 micros, and we're going to see how that plays out. Again, price can come up into this area, but right here will be my line in the sand because that would be my 3 failed PD arrays. So I'm just waiting to see how much price will give me a better entry before going short. because here you have a low, high, a lower low. If we close above that, that'll just probably push us up into this area. If we're going down, we should just go down with some speed. I wouldn't want to see price continue to push all the way back up into this area. We have less than 6 minutes before the macro ends. And I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm not in a trade. I'm just mapping out potential ideas and areas that price could return to. So we've made relatively equal lows here at the 5 minute bearish breaker zone, but we didn't get a body close below that. So order flow is still bullish on the 5 minute time frame. This 1 minute bearish order block, we tapped into it and we're coming down. We have not confirmed this as a a bullish order block. So we're just pretty much not doing much. And let's take a look at these wicks. Everything is very wicky. See that? We're just painting back and forth. This is not a high probability day. As we know, it's a Monday. It's no red folder news. And this here is just a pretty much a giant range since after 10 o'clock. So you don't want to push hard in these conditions because they're not favorable or optimal. Let's look at the 5 minute. Looks like bar barcode is what I call it. Something you scan at a store. We like to see decisive movements. We did on the run up this morning, which we didn't chase. We got a little bit of it, but that was it. And again, after 9:30, I find out what price is doing so I can have an idea of where it's trying to go. I watch to see if a breaker block is confirmed or returned to. I try to find out if an order block is confirmed or returned to as manipulation to go to its higher time frame target, which we had identified already as the consequent encroachment of a 1 hour fair value gap and the consequent encroachment of a daily fair value gap, which we took both of those levels. We ran into the new week opening gap, failed to reach the consequent encroachment on NQ. ES did make it to the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap, but failed to close outside of it. And now it's just consolidating as well. So, are there any questions before we end the stream? I'm pretty sure we'll get some better movement this afternoon. I won't be live for that because we're at our what, 3 hour mark almost. Yeah, we've been live for 3 hours now, so um, it's time for a break. But I want to thank you all for watching. I'll give it a few more minutes to see if there's any questions in the chat that we might have. We'll continue to build on this account. And like I said, once we get this one funded, we'll run the other eval with the concurrently with this one. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, I want to see if we get a close below this. This is the mean threshold. So we've taken that. See if we can get a confirmed 5-minute bearish breaker. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. So on the 5-minute, we are rejecting from this level. We're not getting that body close, and we have not confirmed the order block as well. I'll let you guys see that. So we need a body to close below this and this candle. Ideally, it could close, come back up into the opening price or at least the wick of this and reject down. That's what I would like to see. We are creating fair value gaps. Because if we can get at least an order block confirmation, we have this one, came back into it on a 5-minute. Let's see. See how we react in this fair value gap. This is an order block. The bodies close inside of there. We have 6 more minutes in this macro. I'm looking at the previous hour's candle. I want to get the mean threshold of that just to see how deep of a retracement we could get. Okay. So price could come up into this area to rebalance previous hour's candle, which would be the 11 o'clock candle. And we did that. So after 11, oh no, I have to wait till it's 12, 11:59. Okay. So we have not taken it yet. Watching dollar. Dollar still has not taken the 1 hour fair value gap that it's been heading toward, which is below price. And ES is still consolidating this range here. There is a 1 hour fair value gap that ES could want to take out. But now the question becomes, when is it going to do that? We have not confirmed a 5 minute bearish breaker yet. And we're back at this 1 minute bearish breaker. We've tapped it so many times. And technically, if I was aggressive, I would use this one. But after we closed after it, we went up, down, up, down. So to sit through all of that would have been torture. So we hit the mean threshold of the previous hour's candle. And now we're heading toward the mean threshold of this candle. And that's one of the reasons why I marked those out, because I feel like those are important levels. And we just tapped it. So okay, guys, we got about 2 more minutes. Are there any questions? Any constructive criticism or feedback? I hope the sound was better. I know it's a lot better than the um, laptop microphone. I had to get a microphone over the weekend and play around with settings and things like that. So I endeavor to make the live stream a little bit more fun and interactive as I can. I'm one of those persons that really likes to watch price and lock in and see what's going on. So I don't do a whole lot of talking. I'm only speaking when I need to explain something, but I'm always open to answer questions. For those of you all who are joining and you haven't subscribed yet, if you could be so kind as to subscribe, like, and share the live streams, we're going to build this account and we're going to get a payout. And then we're going to build another account and we're going to get another payout. And we're going to just keep on flipping our bag. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I was trying to do that without all the clutter of my own chart. I have a lot of things I mark out just to keep um, track of price. We're just making a lot of different order blocks on the 1 minute. I'm going to look at the 5 minute and show you guys what I'm looking at. Sorry. So this is our breaker here. It hasn't been confirmed. So this is what we're watching. If we get a close below this candle, that'll count as a 5 minute bearish order block. This isn't an order block yet because we don't have a body close past it yet. This one is one, and we did come back up into it. So could have taken a short there. Would have given us something. But in this type of condition, it's like how much do you push? And you definitely want to reduce your risk. We're not getting any speed. Price isn't in a hurry to get anywhere at this moment. That's possibly because of time. It could be waiting for the 2 o'clock silver bullet or even the lunch macro. Yep. Jen, I'm able to follow along. I couldn't the first time I watched your live stream. Yeah, it was probably a lot going on. And I'll get better, you know, I'll get better with this over time. And your feedback helps me to know what you need to see. Robin was saying if I could put the trades on and things like that. And I was like, not a problem. I did it the first time, but I wasn't able to track what was going on because I'm on my chart and my execution is on another chart. So for me, once I'm in a trade, I just basically need to see where my fair value gaps are and my volume imbalances, and I'm set. I'm good to go. So I do believe this is going lower. Let's see something. I'll have to risk $250 to be correct. Mm, I really want a 5 minute bearish breaker to be confirmed. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. On the 1 minute, it's just this here. I'm uncomfortable with that because what are you doing? What are we doing? Let's zoom out and look. What are we doing? What have we done? Absolutely nothing. So But yeah, we'll take a break. I'm gonna take a break. I have to stretch my legs and things like that. So we're gonna end it here. I'm sure, I'm pretty sure price will go ahead and go down. But what I would try to do, um, every time I say that, then price wants to doing something. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see if we get a close below. Yes, hasn't really made a breaker yet. The dollar is pushing up a little bit. The dollar take this high? I don't know. That's what I'm looking for to see. Okay, we have a confirmed 5-minute bearish breaker. I want to see if we can get retracement back up into this order block right there. Here we go. Stop is going to go above this high. We're going to target this first fair value gap. Yeah, the mean threshold of this 5-minute order block here. I'm going to probably take a partial there just to secure something for us, as price may reject from that zone. And then on the 5-minute, I am watching this order block. How's the sound? Is it still good for you guys? Okay, thank you. I'm trying to see what the latency is um, between what I'm doing and what you guys are seeing. I'm looking at the timestamps. On my computer, it seems like it's far behind, but on the phone, I don't know. It's usually only 3 to 5 second delay. I'll have to find out or work on the bit rate. So maybe it's a settings thing that I'm gonna have to look into. Okay, 3 to 4 seconds. That's good. Right. Not too bad. Well, I'm so sorry, guys. I I'm afraid to even move because this mic, it picks up everything. So again, this is the mean threshold of another confirmed 5-minute order block. You may could get some resistance there, but I believe price wants to target the mean threshold of the New York range and the 1 hour fair value gap below. Those are higher time frame targets, and those are the things I really look at. It's also nestled with a 15-minute bullish breaker, bullish fair value gap. We also have a confirmed 15-minute bearish breaker. No, we don't. We don't. We just have a 15-minute confirmed bearish order block. I'll show that to you as well. These up close candles, we close below that. We invert these three and that volume imbalance. That was the three failed PD array rule. This will invert this bearish order block. Two fair value gaps. My stop loss really needs to be right here, to be honest. We should not come below that. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what we're doing. And let me know. I hope you all can see what you need to see on the chart. We took a 5-minute bearish breaker entry. There was no fair value gap aligned with it. And we also are in the lunch macro. This is our order block. You don't want to see a body close above that. That would be disrespecting it. You want to see rejection just like that. And price should not come back up there. So I'm going to move my take profit into a safe place. And if we get taken out, we get taken out. But it's already done what it needed to do. So we should just see some speed on down here. And that's what I was saying when you see those candles coming up. If you're going short, you want to get in as the candle is coming up to get that entry, the best price on the entry after what you are looking for has been confirmed. And realize that we are in high resistance liquidity runs. All of this is madness. It's just back and forth, painting, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's taking so long to get where it needs to go. So, excuse my voice. I am still recovering, but um, I have been talking for about 3 hours now. So, um, yeah, come on, let's go down. Done what you needed to do up there. And the thing about price is you have to wait till it's ready. It can do this all day. And then in 1 second, it will shoot to the target like boom, soon as it knocks you out. And that happens sometimes, but that's part of how things work. Now, as price is working its way down, I just want to point out that our original 1 minute bearish breaker was here. And if we had taken that, we would have made our um, 200 tick profit already, but we would have had to go through an hour and a half of all of this. And that can be very tiring. Um, I also point out to people that when price is doing stuff like this, your target is here and it's doing that and it's like jumping up and down and not really going nowhere. It's okay to pay yourself. You want something, hey, take it here. Now I believe we're gonna come on into this order block, but look at that. Who wants to deal with that? And we're tired. So guess what? We're gonna take some of our profit here. Okay. Now we're gonna secure a little more. Now we got two more contracts. We'll just let that run. So mean threshold of a 5 minute order block. Price could reject out of that and go back up. But we're gonna hold and see if we can get something else down here. We have enough here to cover any fees, excuse me, fees that we've incurred. So it's still a risk-free trade. I would like to hold for this fair value gap down here. But for me, I don't see why we would come back up here. We've already mitigated this bearish fair value gap. On the 5 minute, we have this here. I'll show you. This is where price could possibly want to retrace to. And you have to allow for that if it's something that you want to do. So price could come to this area before going down. This is the mean threshold of a 5 minute bearish order block. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's see. We'll move this out of the mean threshold of that fair value gap just in case it want to strike it again, but I don't see a reason why it should want to come back up there. We just tap into the top of the bearish 5 minute order block and we're showing signs of rejection. So that's good. But we really want to see some speed. When I saw that price took this low here, okay, see that? There we go. All right. So now we're at the main threshold of the 5 minute order block. I'm gonna leave my stop loss where it is. And again, price could come up here to this level where that line is. I'm gonna move this so you can see a little better. The mean threshold of this here, we can delete that once we're done with that. So now we just want to see price melt on down. It's almost 12:30. And that could be a push back up and then down. I'm gonna leave my stop loss where it is. I mean, our take profit. We're at break even and profit already. So this run has delivered 25 handles almost. This is our next low right here. Price may not be ready to go there. And as you look at the market maker sell model, this down close candle here is a bullish order block. And sometimes you have to map it out and see where's the mean threshold of it, even if you use the bodies. Some people use the bodies, some people use the wicks. It was pretty big candle. Uh-oh, sorry guys. So if we move this out, you'll notice that price stopped right there at the mean threshold of that bullish order block. When you're looking at the market maker models, you want to see the opposing PD arrays be disrespected and not respected. So far, price is respecting this. And this could also be considered some consolidation, and it may be the end of where it wants to stop. You already know I want to see it disrespect this level with a body and continue down. We also have our first presented fair value gap. I would like to see that disrespected and then used as resistance to go lower. We're doing a lot of painting, a lot of wicking back and forth, hardly making any fair value gaps. And I'm sorry if my voice is, excuse me, starting to get tired. I am a little tired. I'm being less aggressive as I would be. Um, I am being less aggressive as I would be off stream or, on my personal account. Only because I am cognizant of the fact that even though I said don't copy my trades, people will copy the trades. So, um, that's it. Plus, it just builds more patience for me. So it looks like we're pushing back up. I don't see a reason why we would need to do that. So I'll probably get taken out. I like to secure $50, so I think I'll cut it there, and that can give us a even like $200 on a day or something like that, if we can get that. But I think we're gonna try to come back up into this zone before coming back down. But we did hit the main threshold of this level, so you have to be aware of that. That could have been the liquidity it was looking for, and that's what happens. So, okay, we are break even in profit. Price is not ready to go down any further at this time. Let me make sure all my orders are off. Okay. And let me get our E&L for today. So where we at? So we're at 170 on the day so far. And our equity is at $50,686. That's where we are. Okay. So before we wrap up, I'll leave that on the screen. Before we wrap up, are there any questions or concerns? Any feedback for me before we go? I am feeling better. I'm still not out the woods yet, though, but I'm sorry. I am feeling a lot better. I had to get antibiotics, and I'm on antibiotics, so I have to take them. But I didn't want to take them until after the stream because I didn't want to get sleepy, as most medicine makes me sleepy, even Tylenol. Okay. I want to thank you all for watching again. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we are going to be walking this eval on stream online. And once this is funded, I will run the eval and the funded account concurrently on the stream and see how we fare with that. So that is our plan. I'm just, putting myself out there. I'm documenting these eval journeys, my eval journey. I typically trade personal funds. I do better with that because my risk, I can use more risk. With prop firms, you have a $1,200 drawdown, and it's a lot of ins and outs with that. So there's a lot of more restrictions. I can't do how I normally would do. I've sat in like $2,000 worth of drawdown in my personal account, but I knew where price was going, so I just let it play out as opposed to cutting it. But you can't do that with the eval account. You will get maxed out, and then once you cut the trade, that's a loss that you have to get back. So I would prefer to keep the account in the green, and we just go for those home runs. So let's review what happened today. Oh, sorry. Okay, so in review, what I did first was the analysis. I went to the daily chart and I went to the weekly chart and saw that I'm going to move the executions out the way for a moment so I can explain this because this is how I start my day. And it's been working for me. So on the weekly chart, I wanted to find out what where we were in relation to last week. We had already taken the previous week high, and I marked out the previous week low. We were inside a weekly fair value gap. We opened up inside of there and rejected out. So overall, we could say on the weekly we're bullish. I noticed this big wick here, so I marked that out with the fib tool, and I got the mean threshold of that weekly wick, which is somewhere around here. Then I went to the daily and I noted where we ended on Friday. We had already taken the high, but not the low. I marked out the mean threshold, and this mean threshold of this daily fair value gap, along with these bearish volume imbalances. Price is only looking for higher time frame key levels. So daily, weekly, monthly is really all you need. On the 1 hour, I noted all 1 hour and 4 hour fair value gaps. Noted that we barely came back into them, but at 9 o'clock we did. That's your manipulation. Okay. Then when we opened up at 9:30, what I like to see is, look at that. Price does a lot of manipulation, but it's okay. We opened up at 9:30. I always ask myself, what is price doing at 9:30? And at 9:30, we confirmed a 1 minute and a 5 minute bullish breaker block. We took a we took a long. The price came back and manipulated us out. So we had a break even in profit. We made about um, $60, something like that. Then we went higher and I tried a continuation trade into, I was aiming for the mean threshold of the weekly wick and this fair value gap. We didn't get all the way up there because this here is a new week opening gap. And you guys can't see it, but it's there. So price went into it, tapped it a couple of times, and then came down. So now here is our delivery. We went up, we made a 1 minute bearish breaker here. This was the actual breaker, that's the first one. And it did deliver so far now, but look at all that we had to go through. So after the 5 minute bearish break was confirmed, we took a short into these lows. Now we're at our target where we would have been had we stayed in the trade. We got wicked out here. So now we're in the first presented fair value gap, and price may want to use that as support. I mean, as resistance if it closes past there. Use it as resistance to go into this equilibrium of the New York open range and the 1 hour fair value gap. And then here we're back at the previous week's high, which we had already taken pre-market. So thank you guys for watching. Um, we will continue to build up this account, and I will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock EST, New York Standard Time. Have a great rest of your day. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. Or you can, if we're in Discord, I'm also going to get the Discord together so we can kind of move away from here and chat there. And if I do stuff on the account off stream, I can always update you guys on that. So I'm getting the Discord together, and I think that'll be a good place for us to communicate. If I have any last minute changes or updates, I can always put that stuff there in a Discord. And look at that. Such a beautiful delivery. And guess what? We're off time because this is not even the time that price usually do things. It's like it holds up. But this is our lunch macro, and that's what it's giving us. So I'm gonna put executions back on the screen so I can get our screenshot for today. Are there any questions about the recap or the day's session that you have before we go? If not, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys back here again tomorrow, and share with other traders, anybody you know that could be interested in watching the challenge live. Um, Share the links, give them the page, and encourage them to subscribe. And those of you all who are in the chat or you're watching, you have to be subscribed in order to comment. So please go ahead and subscribe so that you can join us while we talk and watch and execute price together. All right. If there's anything else that's done on this account, I will definitely update you guys later. I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice and take a break. All right. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and have a great day.